Very tragic story from over the weekend. 6 people killed, 1 hurt in a crash on I-485 in West Charlotte. Medics said 6 people died at the scene. Another person was taken to the hospital. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is covering the story for us, following up on this, again, tragic story. Jesse, have you got a chance to speak with family members? If so, how are they dealing with this?
Yes, I have. Well, and like you mentioned, like I don't think there's any words, that you can't use when you're talking about this story, right? This is a tragedy. I spoke to a man. He is a grandfather, great grandfather. He lost a lot of people in this incident. I spoke to the father of one of the victims as well, Cameron, who's 8 years old. So, like you mentioned, this happened on the 485 on Saturday morning, and the family tells me that they were on their way to Carowinds when this incident happened, and they probably left maybe like 30 minutes ago when the crash happened. In one car, you had a 16-year-old, and in the other car, you had all of the other victims in there. One, two, three, four, five. 6 people were in the second car. When the 16-year-old was switching lane, they collided together and then hit a tractor trailer that was parked on the side. The 16-year-old driver in the one car and the single who was alone in his car, he passed away. He was identified as Logan Paul Sawyer. So unfortunately, he passed away. In the other car, you had a 27-year-old driver, Samuel Holmes. You had 23-year-old Taylor Willis. And what I'm told is the two of them were a couple. And then you had Braylon Holmes, a 1-year-old, Addison Holmes, a 3-year-old, and then Cameron Wood, which was 8-year-old. And the grandfather who I spoke to, he said Cameron was his grandson, and Taylor and Kate, the 23-year-old, and Kate is the 16-year-old who survived. I'm sorry, there's so many people involved in this incident, but a lot of family members all in one car died in this crash, and they're struggling. They're having a hard time. Again, this was supposed to be a fun family trip, going to Carowinds to have fun, and then you have this tragic incident where they're now looking at planning funerals and memorial services for family members as young as 1-year-old, who didn't even get out to start to have a life, but they just kind of shared some memories. Cameron loved cars and motorcycles and so forth, and the 2 babies calling him Papa and so forth, and all of the family were surrounded all together. A lot of them in the living room, just kind of sharing stories and leaning on each other, leaning on God and faith and so forth as they continue to grieve this. But it's a tough one for them, you know.
I can only imagine, Jesse. Still, the investigation is ongoing. Before I get you out of here, still no charges expected to be filed. Did we get any update on that? Does that still remain the same?
To my understanding, as of right now, no charges are expected to be filed at this time. Yeah.
All right, yeah, Jesse Pierre following definitely a heartbreaking story. Again, that crash there on 485 over the weekend in West Charlotte, killing 6 people, injuring 1 person in that crash. You catch Jesse at 5 and 6 o'clock this evening. Jesse, thank you for your time.